Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
Well, I was told this a few hours ago when I was still at home, and then I got some calls here about 30 minutes ago, and it just went live on Infowars.com. Trump names Priebus chief of staff, Bannon senior counselor. Now, again, Priebus knows how D.C. works. He knows who the people are. He knows Congress. He stabbed Trump in the back, 40 times is what I was told by an insider. And Trump knows that, but, these people roll over to whoever their master is. That's what they do, is follow orders. So if he knows, kind of like the janitor that knows where all the keys fit and where all the detergent is, I'm trusting Trump because the enemy hates him. He's already trying to deliver on tax cuts, controlling the border, and so much more. But it's up on Infowars.com. It's from Fox News. Trump names Priebus chief of staff, Bannon senior counselor. So that just means that Bannon will be up there helping make the decisions, but then Priebus will carry out the will. So that's a good thing. Trump said that Priebus and Bannon will work as equal partners. So that's good. President-elect Donald Trump on Sunday appointed Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus as the White House. That's almost like putting Paul Ryan in. Paul Ryan's many times worse and a total demon. But Trump also announced that campaign CEO Stephen Bannon, the executive chairman of Breitbart News, will be his chief strategist and senior counselor. Bannon was notably given top billing in the press release announcing the appointments. And that's what I was going to say earlier. We have this clip. Kathleen Conway said Steve Bannon has been the general in this campaign, but says that Priebus is being looked at. Let's cue that up and play that and then go back to phone calls, because this really says it all. Now again, Trump said 100 with me, and he's staying at 100. He gets in 60-something days. We see delivery, 67 days. We see him fighting hard on this. That's great. But these Republican weasels will tell him whatever they wants to hear. Well, they're cooking up scandals behind the scenes and leaking information to everybody under the sun. And I think he just put a Henry Kissinger in his administration. I think this is a bad move. And I told him it was a bad move Friday, but whatever. Trump can do whatever he wants, I'm sure. He's smarter than I am anyway, so whatever. I'm not pissed. I'm very, very happy. We've defeated the globalists on so many fronts. The media is discredited. The pollsters are discredited. They're in total panic. Trump's getting ready to turn the power plants back on. He's not out to get us. It's wonderful. But I'll tell you what I really think. I think Priebus is a grand weasel. But maybe he can be Trump's weasel. Maybe he's just, maybe he's just a good little servant, does whatever he's told. I've seen a major flip in some media figuring out there's a new sheriff in town. We'll see. But here is Conway, former head of the campaign, the spokeswoman, talking about this earlier today.
The two leading candidates are reportedly Republican Party Chair and insider Reince Priebus and campaign CEO Steve Bannon, who's a fierce anti-establishment critic of Washington. Won't that, Kellyanne, tell us a lot about how Mr. Trump plans to govern, whether he chooses an insider, maybe he still wants to change it, but by using an insider, or whether he chooses somebody from the outsider who really does view Washington as a swamp?
Well, it tells you a great deal about President Trump that both of those men are thought to have very important roles in his administration, very senior roles. And that, regardless of title, that is absolutely what's going to happen. And that is probably the case for most of his very small but loyal and frankly effective senior team, inner circle. But the thing about Steve Bannon that people don't understand is that in this campaign, he's been the general, and he's worked very closely with Reince Priebus and the rest of us as part of that small core team. We couldn't have done it without Priebus or Bannon. I can say that unequivocally as the campaign manager.
Sure, and we weren't there for all things that happened. And by the way, I never convince myself of what I want to believe. I go with my gut. And I don't trust Priebus, but I'll say this, it just clicked. Trump is really smart. He's got the outsider that'll give him the vice and be his chief counselor, who then just send a little gremlin down the rat hole, the little goblin, to take him through the different portals and different entrances and exits. And I'll say this, knowing Trump, because it all just clicked while I was watching that clip. If Priebus doesn't deliver, his ass will be gone in a month or two. In fact, I think once Priebus, I'm predicting this now, unless he totally rolls over to Liberty. But Trump never forgives a traitor, I can tell you that. I think Priebus is gone in 90 days after they're in office. I'll bet you that by May of 2017, Priebus is gone or demoted. You heard it. Because I know how Trump works, and I know my gut tells me he's on the right target, and I know the enemy's scared of him. But here's the deal. I don't want to say this. We got 67 days left. The globalists are scared to death. If Trump doesn't play possum a little bit, they'll probably try to kill him or start a war. I don't know. The problem is they underestimated Trump already. So point is that I think I'm betting on Trump. I mean, he's already trying to get rid of the Obamacare. Oh, that's another lie again. He's trying to get rid of Obamacare. He's getting rid of the provision that it's a forced mandate, but that insurance companies have to have pre-existing condition if they take your money. That's only fair. And that 26-year-olds or 26-year-olds telling your parents insurance, that sounds reasonable because that's when you're out of college by then. That's something everybody agreed to. Then they spin it. Oh, he backed off. Oh, he's not going to deport every person here illegally. He's not going to have a force that goes to every building. We already have a force that does that. But notice, Paul Ryan comes out and lies everybody on the news and goes, I'll assure you, we're not doing it. This Congress isn't doing it. I speak for Trump. What? Undermining him, undermining, playing games because he wants the big money. We haven't kicked the globalists out yet. We haven't drained the swamp. We've got to have somebody that knows the depths of the swamp, somebody that's against the swamp. But what do you think? You got Rusty and Charles and Dean and Raven and so many others. Who should we talk to first? Let's talk to Raven. Raven in North Carolina.
Yeah, Alex, I couldn't vote for John McCain or Mitt Romney because I knew who they were. I couldn't vote for Barack Hussein Obama because the writing was all over the law. I mean, you don't seem to have a very good memory, but you had exposed him before the first election that he ran in, you and many of your guests. So we knew who he was. But I'm glad. I think it's a new day. It's a better day in America. Trump, I feel good that he's in there because, most of all, because if he hadn't won, me and many others would have always wondered, what could Trump have done? Could he have saved the country? Because we knew what we were going to get with Hillary Clinton. And I think that he has to set the tone. That he has to demonstrate to the American people and to the world that none of our government officials are above the law. Hillary Clinton must go to prison. We need a full, impartial, complete investigation of Hillary Clinton and her crimes, with her foundation, all of that stuff, all these other criminals, and the Justice Department.
Raven, you're on fire. I'm going to give you 2 more minutes before we go to break, but just answer my question then. Do you agree with my analysis? Because I never lie to myself. I still have a really good feeling here.
Yeah, I'm hoping, I'll be honest with you, I never followed Trump in my whole life. I don't have television. I haven't had television in like 10 years. So, I mean, I heard, that... So what told you to like him? Just the fact that the enemy was against him? Yeah, all of his enemies, all the people that are coming out against him, and no one was ever able to convince me that Donald Trump hated America like all these other... He doesn't. They either hate America or they're willing, they're a bunch of weasels and snakes, and they're willing to sell us out, and they actually... Or they really are racist. I mean, there's not just white racists. There's anti-white racists as well. Oh, and they're self-hating white racist as well. Well, that seems to be who leads it. I don't get this whole... It's crazy. So what's your gut tell you? Yeah, Alex, come on, man. Let's be genuine here. A lot of these people that we're calling white don't consider themselves to be white. They consider themselves to be above white. They're Jewish, and they don't consider themselves to be white. And one other point. Here's the deal. I mean, you got liberal Jews, conservatives. You got people fighting the New World Order that are Jewish across the board. So how do you just sit there and say, oh, Jews? I mean, I want to get past all the names and just promote freedom. They always seem to frame the debate. They always seem to frame the narrative. They take the left and the right, and then they control it. You get that simple. Well, I'll tell you this. Here's the good news. This whole thing's getting shattered. People don't want to have World War III. I don't care whether they're German, Jewish, or Chinese. But listen, I'll agree with you on this. Trump's for real. He's got the system scared, and he's got my backing. I want to see what he does once he gets in. I'm going to let him navigate the waters he's in. I'm not there with him. But I really do have a good feeling. We'll be right back with more calls.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and say, see, I told you so, that communist Chinese-style net censorship was coming to the web, because it's already here. It's being announced. The way you keep the internet open and free is you get involved more than ever. Go to Infowars.com/app. A new battleship in the fight. Infowars Live. Available right now. We're looking for a crew to man it. You going to sit down and play games and be a trendy? Or are you going to be part of history? Don't sit by and let the internet and free speech be stolen from you. Take action.
Now we are introducing a new T-shirt, which I think folks need to get, telling the real truth about Bill Clinton, who is a serial rapist and a user of women.
In another case, it's about groping and fondling and touching against a woman's will. And rape. And rape.
Bill rapes them physically, and then Hillary rapes them psychologically.
He's a rapist.
Absolutely.
He's a public figure. He goes straight to hell.
Get your Bill Clinton rape shirt today at InfoWarsStore.com or call 1-800-253-3139.